Is that all you got?
What's good, everybody out there on YouTube? This is your man Shadicstick dropping some hot faraga on this mic. And before we start, yes, I know it's been a minute, but I want to talk about Astral Chain. I finally got around to beating this game this weekend, and it really made me happy. The game is honestly amazing, and that, along with Kingdom Hearts 3, are my contenders for Game of the Year. Astral Chain actually might be one of my favorite action games of all time now after completing it, and I can't wait for more from the game. It honestly took me a minute to get acclimated to the game, but after about an hour, I wound up really loving the game. And it's making me question whether I think Bayonetta 2, like what I think, not what I think about Bayonetta 2, because I still think that's an amazing game, but I think this might be my favorite Platinum game. It's making me question if Bayonetta 2 is my favorite Platinum game right now. But enough with all that, let's talk about Astral Chain. So Platinum Games Astral Chain has come out. It came out in September or end of August, almost September, and it actually did extremely well for a game of its type. It's a very niche genre nowadays. We don't see a ton of hack and slash games unless they incorporate some type of RPG elements, which has been done with the game, but more of them have to fall in the action RPG category than just straight up action games. We don't get a lot of, Devil May Cry's and Bayonettas anymore. While yes, the game has a lot of RPG elements, I'd say it's more just a straight action game. I'll say it's more of an action game than an RPG, an action RPG. I'll say that. I'm just getting my feelings about the game out of the way so I can talk about this video's topic, which is, when will we see the next Astral Chain game, or the next game in the Astral Chain trilogy? Or if we're even getting that sequel that has been hinted by Platinum, or that's at least in Platinum's plans. Because as you guys know, that Platinum wants this game to be a trilogy, especially a successful one. With their business plans to move forward as a self-publishing company, I think Astral Chain is actually one of their biggest bets and one of their one of the biggest things they need to take in that direction. Astral Chain, while it is a Nintendo IP, is developed by Platinum, and I think this will help get them in the spotlight more. Because close to Astral Chain's release, a lot of people were talking about it, and as it seems, a lot of people bought it. In UK, it was #1 for the week it came out. The last time a Platinum game got that close was Metal Gear Rising, so you can see where I'm coming from. Astral Chain is a lot bigger than what we think it is. So to see Astral Chain that high is actually really good. On top of that, it made it into the top 10 of the NPDs in the week it released. Actually, I think just for August all around, and it released on like the last 2 days of August, which says something about Astral Chain's success, especially in North America. So first of all, does the game set up for a sequel? And I'd say yes. I don't want to spoil anything because the game is still relatively new, but if you've beaten the game, while the game does close up a lot of the, the things that need to be tied up, I will say this, it leaves itself open for a sequel. The way they explain how things happen after the big ending of the game and some of the stuff that happens at the end of the game, I think they've really, set up for how they can expand the universe and the lore of this series. So the game has basically set itself up for a sequel in a way that, should the game not get a sequel, fans won't feel unsatisfied. There's no real major cliffhangers or anything of the like. On top of that, Platinum has even come out, themselves and say and they've said thank you for the success of Astral Chain. So I think we're going to see an Astral Chain sequel. I think without a shadow of a doubt. Now, is it going to be a part of this generation, more specifically this generation of Nintendo consoles? Because we don't know how long the Switch's generation is going to go on until we get a new Nintendo Switch or Nintendo's next console. We're 3 years in, and from what we're seeing now, console generations are lasting anywhere between 6 and 8, 9, 10 years. They're lasting in between 6 and 10 years, depending on where you want to say the death of the PS3 and 360 were. And it looks like Nintendo is going to have to release a Pro console, at least for the Nintendo Switch, because of the upcoming consoles, the PS5 and Xbox One. And the reason you may say, why would they do that? And it has to be in response to the raise in needs for game developers. While the Switch is nowhere near as powerful as the Xbox One and the PS4, it can still handle a lot of the games that get ported over to it despite running at way lower resolutions and frame rates and just graphical settings overall. While the indie games and stuff may be like for like, you know, Doom doesn't run as well or look as good as it does on PS4 or Xbox One. That's a fact. And depending on what they want to do with Astral Chain 2, should it be called that or the sequel to it, whatever it'll be called, would the Switch be the scope of what they're trying to develop for? Will they be able to improve graphically or in gameplay areas? Will the Switch hinder that game? And while I don't necessarily think that, because it's, you know, they're planning this trilogy for the Nintendo Switch, what is the time window for this game? Are we gonna get it a year from now? Are they gonna do what Nintendo's doing with Breath of the Wild, or what many game companies do with sequels, and reuse a lot of the assets and reuse a lot of the world? Or are they gonna take a step forward and branch out? We already know, based off of some of the things at the end of the game, that they're gonna branch out from where they already are. And while the game, Astral Chain specifically, Astral Chain 1, is structured in a chapter by chapter way, making the game very linear, while having some open world aspects tossed in there, is the next game going to be open world? A lot of this is just speculation, but based off of the way Astral Chain 1 ended, I think they're probably going to try to do another pseudo open world thing with the game, if not complete open world. Because it feels like with Astral Chain 1, they actually kind of wanted an open world at least, and they couldn't do that. Or maybe they were setting up for that, I don't know. But what I do know is this trilogy, if it's coming out on Switch, is gonna come out complete, like the trilogy, the last game is probably gonna come out within the next 2 to 3 years. So are we gonna get Astral Chain 2 next year? Are we gonna get it in 2021 and then have the next game released in 2023? Or are they gonna do this sequel in DLC? Because while they said they want to release 3 games, maybe DLC would be an easier way to implement it. I wouldn't blame them for doing that, and I think it'd be pretty cool. And is Astral Chain gonna get DLC itself? While I think there may have been something, I've been looking around and I have all my sources and stuff open. I haven't seen them say anything about, you know, outright saying no DLC. But we do know they really want a sequel instead of DLC. Will we get DLC for the first game or the second game, and maybe they do just something to bridge the gap in between each game? Much like the Borderlands series. The Borderlands series always has a sequel despite having these massive expansion packs between them. That's how games of old did it. And it seems like Platinum really cares about their series and about this franchise specifically. And I think if they did DLC, they'd do something massive instead of small. And if they were to go massive, I think they would rather say that for the next game sometime. I don't know, it's one of those things that it is very hard to not think about, but just kind of look at and analyze the situation, because again, when you look at the Nintendo Switch, it's already in its 3rd year. Its 4th year is coming up soon, and the next console generation is starting next year. With the Switch becoming more and more of a handheld only device with the release of consoles like the Nintendo Switch Lite, I don't know how that'll affect a series like Astral Chain. Again, it's exclusive to Nintendo's consoles, at least the series is, but is that gonna limit the scope of the developers? It didn't with Bayonetta 2 back when that released on the Wii U, at least it didn't seem like it did. But hey guys, that's just me, I'm just looking at all the possibilities. I think Astral Chain 2 might come out late 2020, you know, mid 2021, between late 2020 and mid 2021 at the earliest. But I don't know, that's just me. That's just me. I'm speaking off the top of my head. It's been a minute, if you can tell that, you know, from me making my last video, so if I sound like I'm rambling, I kinda am. I didn't really write down notes, I just wanted this to be off the dome. But tell me how you guys feel about this in that comment section down below. Do you think we're gonna get an Astral Chain sequel? Do you anytime soon? We know we're probably going to get one, but do you think we're getting one at all? Do you think we're gonna get that sequel really in the form of like big expansion packs or DLC? And do you think the Astral Chain series will stay all on the first generation of Nintendo Switch devices? Tell me down in that comment section below. This has been your man Shadicstick. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Share this video out with your friends. Remember, Hot Faraga turns to Cold Bazaga. Make sure you chill out with some of my other videos and join the channel as a member. Guys, I'm sorry I haven't been uploading. I've just been really busy with school. I'm gonna get around to making more videos. Don't worry. This has been your man Shadicstick again. Hot Faraga turns to Cold Bazaga. Buy some merch. And remember, kiss, kiss. Peace. Jesus Christ, I can't even do my outro right anymore.